hardest part of any video is figuring out how to start it. So we got the RampCrab servo and holder. We got the RampCrab lightweight wheels. We'll go over each part better as we go along with the build. We have the RampCrab chassis. We have the full RampCrab links. Mount. These are just some cheapos. No, I'm not going to do the Dremel thing. Keeping it cheap and easy for me. And lump it or leave it. They fit the budget. So, Injora shocks. So the obvious start would be the chassis. And I'll tell you, I was impressed just looking at the package, the way they have everything separated. And I saw the quality of the product through the bag, and it looks better. I can't wait to get into this, so hang on, let's get ripping and stripping? No, I don't want to strip. I want to strip screws. Ripping and gripping screwdrivers. Look at all that goodness. Now, the Amazon comments did say some people were having problems with the battery tray. It was warped. This looks pretty good. I don't have it out of the bag yet, but yeah, it looks better than it did on that one dude's video. And people were complaining about the screws also. I have the RampCrab screws, but these are RampCrab screws, so we'll see. But I swear by this little kit. I've used it so many times. All right. Oh, and look at that. Directions in English. Yes, it's a simple kit. I put a bunch of them together, but look, this is a hobby for me. I want to relax, have fun, and enjoy it. I don't want to argue. So having little pieces of paper to give me a clue is wonderful. So we'll go over the parts real quick. This is, of course, the rails. Look at them better after I open them and start putting it together. I'm going to put this together and then get back with you, just so you can get a better look. And I know I might be going a little fast, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. You can always pause. This way, everybody hopefully gets what they're looking for. And a little entertainment. See, there's even a little piece of paper in there. That's good. I don't know what this is. I think this is for wiring, but there you go. I'm gonna get going. So hang in there. All right, paying attention to those comments on Amazon about the screws being a problem, I took my time putting them in, and what I found out is that, you're going to pick up material from the carbon fiber, and you're not going to get this completely clean, all the oil and metal out of these little bitty holes. So I went in a turn or two, and then I backed it out. And I went back in and I came back out. Now I'll put the links and everything together, and then when I put the links on and back these out, I will add some Loctite. So keep that in mind. Take your time. Maybe those people were stripping their screws because they were just throwing this thing together. Take your time. It's a budget kit, budget price, budget quality. Looks like I need these already, and I'll be honest, if you haven't noticed, this is supposed to be a light build, but I bought these strictly for the shape. And it looks like they put the little brass thing on there for you, and then you just add the other O-ring. So that's pretty cool. I like the shape of these things. Now, I honestly don't know if they are connected correctly, but they dangle. So, that's okay, just do that. Now, we got to put on, where's that thing? The mount for the back, and the mount and servo for the front. Okay, this seems to be the only angle I can show you those little things without the camera having a hissy fit. But there we go. We got those connected to the axles. What's nice is that they're adjustable, so if I do have it set up wrong for this particular truck, I can adjust it. Okay, well, this is what I have so far. And now I just gotta put some shocks on it. Let's take a look at those. I got spoiled with the oil-filled shocks on my 4Runner, so when I was coming up with this build, I wanted to be sure to get that kind of gentle control. But with these guys, you definitely have to give them a couple test squeezes because they're stiff right out of the package. So keep that in mind, but they're wonderful and cheap. So I got a little excited last night and finished it off. Now none of this is permanent because I'm not sure what motor I'm going with yet. Everything is just basically done to these little pieces of paper. And for somebody with a mind like mine, which is basically a butterfly on crack, when I walk away from something, being able to come back and just have a clue as to what I'm doing is wonderful. So I appreciate that. And I also got some wheels to go with it. I've been looking at this bad boy for a week and I am ready to move forward. However, before we do that, we do have to go backwards a little bit. I'm going to take the shocks apart and redo them. You can probably see right here, one is longer than the other. Now they stick, yes, but now, even at full extension, one is longer than the other. So I want to take care of that. And it's on a turntable. But anyway, same thing with these. They stick a little bit, but once you move them, they're not too bad. But I'm going to take them apart and put some 20 weight in there. Is that the right weight? I don't know. You tell me in the comments. But I'll know before you answer. Gonna have to double check that packaging. I could have sworn it said oil filled, but they weren't at all. They barely, you can see the one on the left barely had anything in it. All right, so I got 3 of them done already and they're working just fine. They already feel better, but yeah, they sit for a second and they're kind of stiff, but they're still better than they were. And yeah, I put a lot more in there than they had. I don't know if I'm doing it right or wrong. I'm just showing you how I do it. Hopefully you can see. Probably gonna put too much. I always do. Where are you? Yep, there we go. That's pretty good. That's up towards the top. And then I move the plunger up and down a few bunches of times. Put a little more in there. I didn't have a lot in there. And I always overdo it because I can never really see what the heck I'm doing. You can't really see what the heck I'm doing. There we go. So I move the plunger up and down a couple of times. I don't know, you probably can't see them tiny little bubbles, but do that. Let it sit for a little while, and then put the cap and spring back on. Absolutely better. And what it take? Like a minute? Nice. All right, now we can put a motor in it. Now for the temporary motor, and I think I put the panel on correctly. We're about to find out. This little guy here can be swapped around for whichever way you want your motor. And I was just following those little pieces of paper. It looks like it's going to fit just like that. However, I am going to have to take this off first. Okay, bud, looking good. The next thing I'm going to do is put on the drive shafts. These are temporary along with the motor and the body that will be coming later, just so we can get it done. It won't be finished for several months, but it's going to be done so we can drive it during the Thanksgiving live stream. Noon to 3. Don't miss it. Thank you. I have been tinker farting around with this dang thing for a while. So here's what I found. I'm going to have to cut off about a 1/4 inch off of each end to make them fit. Try that first and then I'll come back. Remember, it's always easier to take it off than it is to put it back on. It looks like a good idea anyway. I did run my screwdriver down there, and it feels like those ribs go pretty deep, so I think I'm pretty safe taking that little bit off. Cross your fingers. Ain't pretty, but it's working, and I can clean it up. Oh, we'll try the other one. Looks scarier than it is. Come on, you little bugger. And do it on camera. There we go. All right, good enough for government work. If your buddy's picking up the truck and checking your drive shafts, maybe you need a new buddy anyway. But they're temporary because once I've got this all together the way I want it, then I can get metal ones and be done with her. But that's what we're doing today. We're just getting done with her. We're not finishing her. The rear was a home run. The front, just a wee bit off. Third time's the charm, man, that went super quick. And I looked at my stock ones and the gap is almost the same. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's pretty cool. Now, I found something out kind of by mistake. One of the bands popped. So I noticed it makes it move really nice. Of course, now it's gonna lie. Yeah. But for the most part, it moves pretty good. And so I went ahead and did it to the rest of them. Then I accidentally watched a video that said, hey dude, you should do this. And I thought, that guy's right. I think I gave him a sub. Okie dokie, I got all the electronics hooked up. Everything seems to be working good. I did have a problem with it. Having a problem when I turned left, it would hook up. So I just backed off the dual rate a little bit. And it's fine now. There's no problem. Full throttle, reverse, forward. So a little jumpy there in reverse. I think we're good. Let's get on to that body. Now I have to be honest. I did take a peek because I was so excited about the body. I had to take a look at it. But I put everything back in so you can see what it looks like coming out of the package. Pieces of paper with English words on it. That always makes me happy. Got some stickers. What else we got here? The bumper. Oh, what's that? There's the bumper. There's the mounts. The body. That's what we're waiting for. Alright, take a look at that. Looks good. It'll look better once it's rolling. Look at the roll cage. Light bar. Whoop, there we go. Sorry about that light bar. Oh, the mount for the body, back mount. All right, I think that's everything. Cool. Look at all that goodness. And I was looking at this light bar. I don't know if we're going to use it for this, but I wonder if it'll fit on the deadbolt. Let's take a look. The short answer is no. It's entirely too short. It won't right out of the package. I don't know. You want to see me booger this up? Let me know in the comments. Maybe I'll make that a future project. Those tiny little pins suck, and the holes suck, but it's on there. Right off the bat, this isn't the project I wanted to build, but it has turned out to be way better than I thought it would be. I've learned a lot. If you're like me and you've only ever swapped parts, you've handled every part but never built one, well, you can do it. You know, I went and got everything that said JLU/C10 and made sure that it matched that way. It didn't come out the way I wanted it to. It actually came out better. We'll take a better peek. The carbon fiber RampCrabs were originally for this project, and I will use it for driving on the terrain I built this chassis for. However, these are slightly smaller, and I did have to modify the body a little bit, and it still rubs a little bit, but I didn't want to do a massive cut up on the body. I did have to take the grinder to the stock ESC to make it fit between the shock towers, but it works. I also had to place the body mounts a notch out of the frame. I probably could have used the Gladiator chassis for this and been able to use the bumper, but live and learn, it still works. So there you go, buddy. That is my first build from scratch. I'd love to hear any comments or suggestions you have, as long as you keep it polite. Now, let's see. Let's go hit the mountain.